Well, hello. So, today's reflection is something that I sit with from time to time and thought it seems to be relevant at the present moment, so I'm going to speak to it so that if it's something you are reflecting on or being with or challenged by, you'll find some support in your own reflections. And what's coming to mind right now is we are really in our last days of summer and moving to the beginning of the fall season, is many people are challenged by the pace of life and challenged in re-engaging or beginning to engage with supporting oneself through life's challenges. And let's call it stuckness. A sense that I'd like to do something and it appeals to me. I may sense some hesitancy or some slight butterflies in my stomach or concern. Can I? Am I ready? Am I able? Do I have the time? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth my resources? All the different kinds of thoughts that can create a stuckness in moving from an idea that we have to actually the engagement and allowing for that idea to move from idea state in the mind to reality out into the world. So I think that one of the things that gets in the way is our thinking. We get caught in our heads. And one of the things that can begin to help us to get out of the whirling of that vortex of thought that just goes round and round and round and round is to connect in with our bodies. And the easiest way to connect into our body is to shift our attention towards our breath. And once we shift our attention towards our breath, it supports us landing in our body. And when we're in our body, we're in the present moment, we're in the now. And if we're in the now, we can pretty much manage anything. Fears and concerns and hesitancies usually have something to do with the future. And if it's something that we're thinking of engaging with that reminds us of some experience from our past, then we'll also get triggered by experiences from our past that may prevent us from engaging simply because it wasn't necessarily a positive experience. And so that gets reflected and deflected back into right now. But if we're in our right now, like this very breath, we can pretty much handle anything. And your breath is such a powerful resource, and it's available at any time, anywhere. So grounding through our breath into our bodies can support us in asking ourselves the question, all right, I'm right here, I'm right now. And I'm going to engage and move into action. Because like at a cellular level, deep within myself, I can truly sense that what it is I would like to engage in is going to support me. Or not. And if you sense that what is driving it is more of a desire for something you want temporarily as opposed to what you need long-term to support yourself, then maybe you'll make a decision for a no. But, the difference between moving from the idea in your head and the thinking mind to actually creating A reality is action. And that takes something. It takes energy. It takes focus. And when we're depleted, it can seem like, yeah, it's a nice idea, but I just don't have the energy. And then we get caught in that spinning wheel of, I'd like to, but I don't have the energy. So think about it. I mean, if you sense that you're low in energy, what would be most supportive would be to plug into life, recharge your batteries. And staying in stuckness depletes your batteries. But just the idea of re-engaging when we're low on energy can seem like so far off. But don't believe in what I'm saying in the power of your breath and the power of landing in your body. Try it out for yourself. Try out a body scan. Try out a constructive rest position. Try out a very short session of 5 to 10 minutes and witness for yourself the experience of where you are when you start off and where you are when you finish. Challenging yourself to move from stuckness and for the body to stay in stuckness and to keep that stuckness in place requires a lot of energy. And if you think about it, how would you like to use your energies? Whatever amount you have, would you like to use them to keep stuckness in place, or would you like to use them to shift out into something else? To fall back into a flow, a vibrancy, a sense of being alive. You know, if you have a telephone, a cell phone, every once in a while you'll notice that your battery is getting lower and you probably naturally plug it in to recharge at a certain point. Or maybe you're one of those people that you wait until it goes into the red and then you plug it in. I don't think I've ever come across a person who naturally allows their battery to just die out and the phone to go dead. You naturally notice at a certain point, I need to recharge the battery. Now, if you can do that with your phone, you can do that with yourself. My energies are getting low. You can ask yourself the question, what do I need right now to recharge? What we often don't do is ask ourselves, well, where am I sensing stuckness? And what kind of supports do I need to put into place so that I can take a moment to receive support, to hone and channel into that stuckness, to support the softening, maybe eventually a rinsing and a releasing, so that I can allow my energy levels to rise again, so that I can interact with life and engage with things and experiences that keep me plugged in, feeling a sense of aliveness. And today, it's all I got right now. And what a gift it is to be alive. I'm not saying that the experience of life is always easy and simple. But when we spend the time to recharge ourselves on a daily, consistently, then we just have more energy to choose and manage and deal with whatever we're currently going through. And say you're in a time where you're sensing ease and beauty and lightness. You show up for yourself anyway, consistently, and you engage. Because in those moments, you have an opportunity to get to layers of stuckness that we don't usually get to because we're dealing with the daily levels of stuckness and tensions and stresses. But if you're living in a particular moment where things are easeful, It's a wonderful opportunity to get to layers of old things that you're carrying around, that you may not even be aware that you're carrying around, but they're there. And they rear their heads every once in a while. So you can, scan your body at any time and be aware of holding patterns, be new or old, and ask yourself the question, what is it that I need right now to support myself to really engage with life? And sometimes engaging with life means putting on a pause button, creating more room for rest. And sometimes we've been resting so much that the energy levels get low, and we need to up the ante a little bit on how much we're engaging. It's a dance, engaging with restfulness, engaging with movement, engaging in conversation with people. And that takes me to my next point. Grounding in the body was first point with breath. Another great support to move away from that vortex of thinking that keeps us stuck in place is having a conversation with someone who will listen. Having a conversation with someone who will simply hold up a mirror and perhaps ask us questions to help us gain clarity on what is it that's needed right now to support us in making a move, whether it be a yes direction or a no direction. Because staying in those gray, murky waters of non-decision doesn't support us in any way, shape, or form. Having conversations with people who aren't going to tell you what to do, suggest you what to do, but support you in listening deep within for yourself. Because in the end, it's your life, nobody else's. And when you trust that deep inner listening of what's best for you right now, to support you in creating whatever it is you want next for yourself, and taking action. And rest is also a way of taking action, clear and purposeful, to support your energy levels. You've got this one life. And may you surround yourself with people who support you in shining brighter, in supporting yourself and loving yourself, believing in yourself, and taking that next step, whatever that looks like for you. So I hope you have found this reflection piece supportive, and I always love to hear from you on whatever you heard in my share today that resonated with you. Have a beautiful day.